Pixar, you are the unrivaled magnitude. I don't know how you did it, but how can I be surprised? You took what so many people joke about in every medium and you made it beautiful. This was a subject I never cared about, but you brought it into the light in a relatable level, and you brought out the best in me because of this movie. Dude, I mean, I'm gonna do my best to put this in words, but oh my goodness. Right now, I am just absolutely euphoric. I didn't have the best start with Pixar back in 95 because I never really liked Toy Story all that much. I've realized for so long they are on their own level. They have a magnitude that's incomparable. I mean, look at Toy Story 4. The movie was unnecessary, but they did a better sequel than most people can ever dream of making in a simple movie. I mean, you look at Illumination films and they're really basic, they only appeal to low demographic, and they just leave you empty because they have no depth. It's just this movie. I can barely believe Disney forced this out of theaters and just on Disney Plus, but right now that doesn't even matter. I cried. I absolutely cried. I couldn't even relate to the movie for the first while. I was laughing because I couldn't get in the mindset of a teenage girl going through metaphorical puberty, essentially. It's just cringy what her mom did to her. But I am just in absolute euphoria. By the end of the movie, I get a basis of where it's going, and I think I know how it's gonna end. But Pixar, you just blindsided me. I lost it. I have a photo of just myself crying over it. Oh my goodness. 2010, looking back, all my friends in Boy Scouts saying, no, Toy Story 3, it's gonna be shit. We're not even gonna consider watching it. And I have to say I didn't feel too different. But I remember being in the north and I was at a fuel station and I'm standing next to the clerk and I see some tabloids, all News Weekly, and 4 different newspapers. They're completely filled with rave reviews of Toy Story 3 just being dazzling, just indescribable, and a level we didn't think was possible, but Pixar did exactly that. They did what we thought could never be done. I remember back in June of that year, Pixar just knew what you would expect from the plot of Toy Story 3, and they just take you through all of the points and you think you know what's gonna happen. But then suddenly they just exploit your own mentality and what you understand with how a movie works, but especially how you feel about their movies in general. I mean, that was 11 years later, and it's so hard. I'll never forget what they did to me in that theater, and I cannot just express everything. It has no comparison. Now it's 2022. It's March 11th, 2022. I'm on my knees after just watching their newest film. I work in a movie theater, and we've had this trailer playing for months, long before Disney decided to put it straight on their streaming service. So I was looking forward to it. I was gonna watch it as I like to watch every theatrical Pixar film that I can. But it always gave me a new appreciation of seeing every one of their pieces. Turning Red, it has the struggle, it has the animation. It's so hard. I am just get over my head. The protagonist, yeah, she's outgoing, she's becoming a teenager in that transition of child into adult. But at the same point, that's just the surface level you get by the impression of watching her in the trailer. Once you see the struggle in the movie, you can definitely get on board. You can easily relate to an extent, even though I'm a guy, I barely found her struggles to be all that relatable, but I was still cringed out by the things her mother did, but I won't give you any spoilers. which I'm going to be very disciplined in this video. She's taking on so much and learning about adulthood in her own perception, but one that many people can relate to, even if you're not a female. But the fact that she starts to learn about not only her family's past, but especially about their own struggles, which she can fully relate to, as shown in the movie. So many filmmakers have an abundance of free motifs and just random padding, as the term goes, in their movies, just to give it some more depth. But Pixar does not do that. Even what I thought would be so significant in the beginning of the movie ended up being detrimental to the climax and overall out. It gives you a bigger appreciation for being observant through the plot and what the characters all experience together. Far into the film, I stopped seeing Mei Mei as this stereotypical teenage girl in 8th grade. I started to sympathize, empathize, to the point where her emotions were becoming exactly my own. And even when I thought who I knew would be on the opposite side of the conflict, Pixar just rips at your heart by opening up theirs. And that's exactly when I started to feel heavy and my eyes grew red and my tears started to fall. Oh my goodness, Pixar. I told a fellow Eagle Scout of mine that it takes a true man to show his emotions. And as an artist, I especially abide by that, but that is beyond my control. I love stories that really delve into something not only relatable, but to the point of where it brings out the best in you. Like I said, with the empathy and the sympathy. I remember in 2016, when I walked out of the theater, same one I work at, in fact, from Zootopia, just absolutely blindsided. I went in that movie with so minimal expectations, only to have every single one of them exceeded, and now it remains one of my absolute favorite films. And I can easily add Turning Red to my list of top favorites. For all this emotion it has brought out that I didn't think would surface, I have to give it 5 stars. Yes, it truly is that good. If you don't have Disney Plus, get a friend, family member who does, or just do the week trial and watch this movie. See Turning Red, I assure. Do it before you have anything spoiled, because this film, easily one of my favorites of the year so far. Yeah, it's only March. We're only a fourth of the way through the year. My only disappointment is that this was not in theaters. The trailer cannot do it justice. Please watch this film. If you've already seen it, leave a comment. But anyway, I am Rokulai. This is Rated Exploited. Forever your fellow gamer.